Hi and welcome, students. In today's lesson, we will be going over our previous work that we had. So if you would open up your activity book to page 20, 21, 22, let's get started. Okay, so here we have in our activity book, we have complete the sentences about the Nobel Prize with the words from the box. Now here I do not have the answers written, just so that you guys follow along and know exactly what we are doing instead of just copying the answers. Okay, so number one, we have in 1921 CE, Albert Einstein won the Nobel Prize in, and we know that he won the Nobel Prize in physics for his research into light and how it travels. So number one is physics. Number two, the Swedish scientist Alfred Nobel founded the Nobel Prize in 1901 CE. So number two is Nobel Prize. Number three, in 1999, the Nobel Prize in Chemistry was awarded to Ahmad Zewail, an Egyptian scientist, for his work on chemical reactions. Number four, the Nobel Prize in Medicine for the year 1929 was awarded to Sir Alexander Fleming for his discovery of penicillin. And we got all of these from reading the articles previous, and so that's how we know which answer goes where. Number five, since 1901, there have been 6 Nobel Prizes every year for science, and they have given us medicine, physics, chemistry, economic science, and peace. So what's left? What's a 6th Nobel Prize? We read, and we know that it's literature. Okay, literature. Now, let's move down to exercise number 2. Complete the sentences with the present continuous form of the verbs in brackets. Okay, so here we have, we are using the present continuous, which is نستخدم المضارع المستمر من الأفعال بين الأقواس. So how do we كيف بنحل طريقة الحل how إذا كان الفاعل قبل الفراغ للضمير I فبنكتب am، وإذا كان المفرد مثل my dad بنكتب is، وإذا كان الجملة like you so بنكتب are. And بنضيف ing, do not forget. So when we use are, we are adding ing لنهاية الفعل بين الأقواس. And في جملة الأسئلة in the question sentences am is an are. في الفراغ الأول حسب it depends على أعداد الفاعل. So we add an ing لنهاية الفاعل that is between parentheses بعد الفراغ الثاني. Okay, so here we have notice that we have now at the moment, and these are clues بيدلوا على present continuous. Okay, these are هدول الدليل that بدلنا that we are using present continuous now and at the moment. So let's begin. 1, they have completed it for us, but we will read it. We are learning about Alfred Nobel at the moment. Okay. Number 2, we have I am not thinking about anything else right now. I am not thinking about anything else right now. I am concentrating on my work. I am concentrating on my work. Number 3, what, and then they have given us a space, you do. What space you do. What would we put here? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you, no, I'm sorry. What are you doing? Okay, it's a question. What are you doing? And then the second one is, are you looking up information for your project? Are you looking up information for your project? Number B. No, I am sending an email to someone. No, I am sending an email to someone. Okay. 4. What book blank you blank at the moment, and they have given us read. What are you reading? What are you reading at the moment? It's a question. Number 5. My dad blank repair my bike, but it blank takes so long. So here we have my dad is repairing my bike, but it is taking so long. Again, let me repeat these. I am not thinking about anything else right now. I am concentrating on my work. 3. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you looking up? Are you looking up information for your project? No, I am reading. I am sending an email to someone. No, I am sending an email to someone. 4. What book are you reading at the moment? 5. My dad is repairing my bike, but it is taking so long. He's been working on it for days already. Okay, moving to exercise number 3. Here we have what annoying things are these people always doing? Okay, write sentences. Number 1, she's always making noise when I'm asleep. She's always making noise when I'm asleep. 2, they have given us he, and they have given us forget where he has put things. Okay, so what does it become? He's always forgetting where he has put things. Again, he's always forgetting where he has put things. 3, they have given us Selwa, and they have given us eat sweets. So to put it in the past continuous, we say Selwa is always eating sweets. Selwa is always eating sweets. 4, they have given us the children and tell jokes. How do we make it into a sentence? It becomes the children are always telling jokes. 5, the dog bark. To put it in a complete sentence, it becomes the dog is always barking. 6, you talk on the phone. To make it into a complete sentence in the present continuous, it becomes you're always talking on the phone! 7, Zid, and we have complained about his job. Zid is always complaining about his job. Zid is always complaining about his job. Now, the way to solve these, okay, so we add always للفعل المضارع المضارع المستمر for present continuous. And إذا كان الفاعل okay comes in the beginning of the sentence يعني you know before يعني قبل شحطة قبل الشحطة, if it is a mufrad like he, she, or Selwa, like in the sentences that we have, or the dog or Zid, so we write is, and إذا كان الجملة with the children and you we use are and and نكتب always بنضيف لها ing. When we use always we have to add an ing للفعل and للأول كلمة بعد الشحطة. And then if we are using is and are we have to put re يعني are يعني yep, so we use are نكمل so like here Zed is always complaining about his job, or like in number 6 we add an re to you, so it becomes you're always talking on the phone. Like in number 2, he's always forgetting where he put things. Okay, and then number 4 we have the children are, so here we are using are, and because we have an s, the children are always telling jokes. Okay, let's move along to exercise 4. Here we have, look at the photo. This is reading. What do you think you are going to read about? What do you think you are going to read about? Well, here the text is about Petra Conference of the Nobel Literates, and we know that this coin is the Nobel Prize. This is for, who has won a Nobel Prize, they receive this coin. So let's see what we will be reading about. Since 2005 CE, different Nobel winners from all over the world have attended the Petra Conference of Nobel Literature. Every year, His Majesty King Abdullah II Ibn al-Hussein hosts this important event in Petra, a city that is considered as one of the world's wonders and which has become a symbol of ancient civilization. During Jordan's third Petra Conference of Nobel Literature in 2007, scientists and participants who have won Nobel Prizes discussed and developed a very interesting idea to support new specific projects in the Middle East. The goal behind this idea is to encourage cooperation in the region, mainly amongst the young generations. All the participants agreed to start this project with an account of $10 million donated by some generous people. Wow, that's excellent. Now we have answered the questions that follow. Suggest a good title for this text. So here, this is titleless, no title. Suggest a good title for the text. We can say the Petra Conference of Nobel Literature. 2. How many years ago did Petra Conference of Nobel Literates start? How many years ago? So here we have the answer is the Petra Conference of Nobel Literates started 10 years ago. It started 10 years ago. What major decision was taken during the third conference in 2007? Do you think it was a good idea? Do you think it was a good idea? The answer is during the third conference in 2007, scientists and participants decided to support new scientific projects in the Middle East. Now, all these answers are from the article above. 4. Again, 3. During the third conference in 2007, it's the beginning of the second paragraph. Scientists and participants decided to support new scientific projects in the Middle East. That's the answer to question 3. Question 4 says, find an appropriate place in the text to insert the following sentences. So here we have these winners belong to the 6 different fields of physics: chemistry, economic science, medicine, literature, and peace. Where do we think this sentence, belongs in the article above? They belong in the first paragraph after the first sentence. Okay, so let's put this sentence here that they have given us in the first paragraph after the first sentence, in the first paragraph above after the first sentence. So it continues. So it will become, since 2005, different Nobel winners from all over the world have attended the Petra Conference of Nobel Laureates. These winners belong to the 6 different fields of physics, chemistry, economic sciences, medicine, literature, and peace. So this is where this sentence belongs best, in the paragraph above. Moving along to exercise 7, here we have match the words from the text with the words that have the opposite meaning. Okay, so here نكمل we need to choose الكلمات العكس. Okay, المعنى. So we have winner. What is winner? What's the opposite of winner? It would be loser, B. Attend. What's the opposite of attend? Attend يعني يحضر. The opposite of it is miss. Miss. 3 is interesting. What's the opposite? Interesting يعني ممتع. What's the opposite of interesting? It's boring, ممل. 4 is encourage. Encourage يعني يشجع. And the opposite of encourage is discourage. Discourage. يعني discourage يعني يحبط. 5, here we have young يعني شاب. And the opposite of young is old. عجوز أو كبير في السن. Okay. So again, winner يعني فائز, attend يعني يحضر, interesting ممتع, encourage شجاع يشجع, young شاب. Loser means خاسر, miss يعني يفوت, E يعني boring, boring means ممل, discourage means يحبط, and old means عجوز أو كبير بالسن. And that's it for this page. Let's move along to page 22, exercise 8. Here we have vocabulary, which means المفردات, and we have complete the text with the words related to healthcare from the box. Okay, so I will read it, follow along, and check your answers, please. Okay, here we have, I chose to become a medical technologist because I always knew I wanted a career in healthcare. After completing my science degree, I got my first job in a laboratory. I'll never forget the first time I put my white coat on. It was really exciting. A typical workday for me starts at 7 a.m. and ends at 3:30 p.m. I am responsible for performing tests on blood samples from hospital patients. Scientists are always coming up with new hypotheses about how diseases are caused, and they can carry out research to test whether these ideas should be explored further. Our laboratory has a lot of most up-to-date technology equipment يعني معدات to help us do this. For example, this is very expensive scientific microscope that I am using to analyze the blood sample. I am still working on something now, but when I finish it, I'll write up my report in a blank, and doctors will study it. I will write up I will write up my findings in a report. So 6 is findings, 7 is report. And the doctors will study it. Okay, so we have 1 laboratory, 2 hypotheses, 3 research, laboratory يعني مختبرات, hypotheses يعني their plan, their idea of what they made up and what they think the solve or the solution is. Research يعني بحث, equipment يعني معدات, microscope يعني مجهر, findings يعني نتائج, and report يعني تقرير. Okay, now moving along to exercise 9. Exercise 9 asks us to match the verbs and the nouns to make phrases. Okay, so we have verbs and we have the nouns that make up the phrase. So 1, we have chose, and they have chosen a subject to investigate. Okay. 2, report. What does يعني report? يعني the result. The results. يعني تسجيل النتائج. 3, carry out. So if we have a carry out, what do we carry out? We carry out an experiment. Carry out an experiment. 4, look down. We look down into a microscope. We look down into a microscope. 5, investigate. We investigate a hypothesis. Okay. 6 is write. What do we write? We write an report. We write a report. So again, 1 is E, 2 is F, 3 is B, 4 is C, 5 is D, and 6 is A. Moving down to exercise 10, which is the grammar, which is the qawaid. And here we have correct the underlined verb from each sentence, then rewrite the sentences using the correct tense. Okay. So here, من نصحح الأفعال التي تحتها خط. Okay. We are going to correct the underlined verbs, and we are going to rewrite نعيد الكتابة using نستخدم صفة present continuous. So what is to use الأفعال هي to use المضارع المستمر, which is the present continuous. نستخدم the form ing, okay, and that is للأفعال المفرد, like science, something, or we use the are and then the base form ing. للأفعال الجمع, like scientist, scientist with an S. Okay, so again we use نستخدم is the base form ing للأفعال المفرد, like science or something, and then we use are plus base form ing للأفعال الجمع, like scientist. Okay, so 1, they have, let's start 1. Scientists first ask a question why something is happening, and then they try to explain it with a hypothesis. Okay. 2, all around the world, scientists are discovering new cures for diseases. All around the world, scientists are discovering new cures for the diseases. Now here we said if we have jama, like scientist, we must use are and then the base form, and we add an ing. Okay, so that is why we said scientists are discovering new cures for diseases, because we have jama, more than one scientist, because we have an s after scientist, and we know to use are, and then we have are, so we know to change discovered into discovering, discovering, and then continue the sentence, new cures for diseases. Okay, 3, we have today, scientists are making project in all the different fields of the subject. Again, today, scientists with an S are making progress in all the different fields of the subject. Again, here we have jama, scientists with an S, and so we know to add are and then the base form and then ing. Okay, so we are changing scientists are, and then we change makes to making, 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 and we must add are before making. So it becomes today, scientists are making progress in all the different fields of the subject. Number 4, we have science today is changing our lives, and it has the answer to many of the world's problems. So here we have, what do we have? We have mufrad. Okay, so singular, we are talking about science only, and when we have, when we have in mufrad, like science or something, we use is and then we add an ing. Okay, so we add is and then we add the base form ing. Okay, so that's that for today's lesson. Please check your answers, go through this as many times as possible, and have a great day until our next lesson.